Have you ever wondered how would the universe of My Little Pony be without Opaline? Let's see how the absence of the fire Alicorn could completely change the dynamic of the ponies and the series lore itself. Stay tuned and understand all the surprising changes. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and the first change that the absence of Opaline causes in the series is related to the Unity Crystals, since it was because of her that Twilight and her friends created them, to keep the three tribes united and protected, preventing that they forget about their union and become mortal enemies in the future. But as not everything is so simple like that, there are some negative points about the Unity Crystals never being created due to Opaline being missing in this universe, like Sunny being an Alicorn. As we saw in the New Gen movie, Sunny was able to reunite the friendship between the ponies' hearts, and as a retribution for her actions, the crystals created by Twilight granted her the ability to become a different kind of Alicorn, as a way to state that Alicorns are in fact real and that the powers of friendship still exists. But without Opaline, the ponies would have never split up, and Twilight would never create the crystals, and without them, Sunny would remain an Earth pony, and never become a symbol of Equestria's magic for all ponies, because that wouldn't be necessary. In fact, maybe she would turn out a totally different pony from who we know, since as she was living under Twilight's realm, there would be no reason for her to search for the tracks of a missing princess. Sunny could be an engineer pony like we saw on the concept arts for G5, or just a simple regular pony without a setting background or anything. Kinda boring, but it's the reality, right? Another negative part would be not finding out about Skyros, the city of Alicorns. We never heard about this place in G4, not even in the comics, so we don't know if Twilight would take note about this place. But besides that, the fact is that without Sunny and her friends on this new generation, the ponies would have never find out there's a proper Alicorn land, and that they were born this way, and not created by magic. And do you know why that wouldn't be possible? Because when Sunny and the other raid Opaline's abandoned castle, they discover a magical map that showed the existence of Skyros, and that the Alicorns couldn't be extinct like many believed. Without this discovery, probably Skyros would remain a mystery for all the ponies and also for the bronies, unless we had a different protagonist that went after her origins and where Alicorns came from. Flurry Heart, for example. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about her as a protagonist in the new My Little Pony generation? Would that be cool? Tell me all about it, but for now, let's keep going. I think we all know that Flurry Heart is a princess, right? Because she is Caden's daughter, the Princess of Love, and also has Alicorn DNA inherited from her mother. These two facts make her the future princess of the Crystal Empire, so much that we can see her feats at one of the stained glasses panels in The Last Problem, the episode from season 9. We then would see G5 from her POV, with the main story being around the Crystal Empire at sometimes Ponyville, with her meeting other ponies and bonding with new allies and of course new friends. The series could explore her growth and development throughout the seasons, the same way we saw with Twilight and her friends. We could see how she dealt with certain responsibilities concerning her royal matters, and how she deals with the fact that she has royal blood, or if she ever wanted to be just a regular pony with a regular life and regular struggles. With that, Flurry Heart could ask Cadence how her mother became an Alicorn and who was responsible for that, making Flurry Heart even more curious about who was the Princess Celestia that ruled Equestria in the past, and if there's any other pure Alicorns like her somewhere. Maybe she tries to search for her aunt Twilight, who is one of the smartest ponies in Equestria, but we don't know if Twilight knows about the city of Skyros, so we don't know for sure how would that go. And speaking about struggles, it's only me who thinks that G5 could focus more on ponies with day-to-day problems instead of a powerful and mysterious villain. Like, instead of taking the same formula from G4, when each season introduced a new villain so they could face the protagonist together in the end, it would be so interesting to see something more mundane, not like magical creatures are a real thing. What I mean is that G5 with Flurry Heart as a protagonist could follow the same animation base of Kiki's Delivery Service from Studio Ghibli, where we see the 13-year-old witch Kiki moving to the city, trying to understand more about herself, her limits and weaknesses, her most deep wishes, and essentially how to deal with everyday life, from dealing to mean people to insisting love interests. Basically a My Little Pony slice of life. I know that speaking it out loud sounds boring, but you see, who can you relate more? A pony with family and social struggles, or a mega powerful Alicorn that needs to save the city? Well, the answer is obvious, so much that the most popular among the main 6 in the fandom is Rarity and not Twilight Sparkle, as many may think. And that's because she presents life challenges that are common in a regular human adult life, like responsibilities in her career and the difficulties of running a small business. In this case, we would maybe see Flurry Heart having trouble to adapt to the routine of her new friends, like Dawn, for example. According to the stained glass of Twilight's castle, Flurry Heart would be around the same age of Twilight's pupil, or maybe a little older. That would provide a direct sequel to G4, keeping the emotional connection with the characters that we love going, like the main 6 themselves. Although in this new season, they wouldn't be the protagonist anymore, expanding the story in a significant way of new characters that would slowly come and connect with Flurry Heart. And if you're enjoying this video so far, leave a like, that helps me so much to bring more content like this one, besides making YouTube recommend the video for more people. Besides Flurry Heart, we would have Dawn better developed since she is Twilight's pupil. I believe that focusing on her story wouldn't be as rewarding as Flurry Heart's lore, once Dawn is basically Season 1 Twilight Sparkle reflects, a unicorn that didn't care about her friends and family, caring only about her magic studies. But with Princess Twilight's advice, Dawn would become a better version of herself each day, learning more about friendship magic with her friend ponies, and not pony friends, of course. Learning more about the Princess of Light, Flurry Heart. In case you didn't understand this Princess of Light part, watch my video on how was the future of Flurry Heart. It's worth to remember that the new elements of harmony would be introduced by Dawn and her friends, with Luster being obviously the element of magic, and in the future she would be turned into a magical Alicorn. But what kind of princess would she be? The Princess of Hope? Princess of Harmony, perhaps? Something that we fans can only imagine and try to answer this question. It's kinda off to imagine that G5 of My Little Pony would be totally different if Opaline had never existed, am I right? The series narrative would be focused on a real sequel to the series and with a more mature tone, and not place this new generation in a distant, distorted future, with ponies mad at each other and totally unaware of friendship magic, and of course filled with excessive tech to try to imitate Gen Z and Alpha. Not to mention that, since the last episode of Season 9, we always wanted to see more of Dawn and Flurry Heart, mainly because she is Caden's daughter and barely appears in the series. We only see her in the stained glass that appears in the castle. Blame it on Hasbro for making Opaline a thing. But now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this alternative G5 where Opaline never showed up in Equestria? And which character would be the protagonist of the series? Let's keep this discussion going on the comment section. And don't forget to share this video with family and friends. Thank you a lot for watching this video till here, and hasta la vista!